So, hi, another video I wanted to do today was just to cover some frequently asked questions. Yeah, because obviously we get asked a lot of the same thing, especially if you're new to the whole calorie deficit, new to me. Yeah, so I just wanted to cover a few of the points, and then a video is a lot easier. Obviously I do have a lot of posts explaining everything, but a video is sometimes nice when you get a bit more of an idea and a feel for what I'm trying to explain. So like I covered in the last one, probably the biggest question I get asked is how to set your calories. So again, I discussed that. You need to complete a TDEE calculator, get your calorie deficit figure. Obviously everybody's will be different as it's based on height, weight, your individual circumstances. You will then need to download a food tracking app. I mean, I personally use NutriCheck just because I prefer it. I have tried MyFitnessPal in the past. I just didn't like it because obviously it's user generated, like users can input their own and they're very inaccurate. That I just didn't like it. So I think it was my sister Nikki actually who recommended NutriCheck to me. Yeah, love it. I was paying monthly for it, like $3.99 for pretty much a year and a half. And then I think it come up for renewal and it was like £23 for the year. So I just bought the year. Trust me, and I know it seems steep if you skin, but it's worth it, especially if you're serious about wanting to lose weight, or if you've gone from going to like Slimming World and paying £5, I don't know what it is now, actually a week, £5, £6, £7 every week to get weighed. Trust me, you'll not regret it. But there is also like My Net Diary, Lose It, there's the NHS one. I know a lot of the admins in the group use a variety of different apps and they like them as well. So just have a look, see what you prefer, and obviously what your budget is. That's what it all depends on. But definitely you need a food tracking app to input all your foods. A lot of them have the ability to scan foods, which is quick, it's great, it saves you inputting. No, it seems a bit of a slog having to input all your food, but the more you do it, the app will store like your favourite foods. Like, so for me, when I go onto NutriCheck, because I eat a lot of the same stuff, it's already there. So it's a case of just clicking on it and, just adding it to like breakfast, lunch, dinner. You'll get annoyed with it for the first couple of weeks because you just think, oh God, it's just something else. This is why I don't like calorie counting, because it just takes so much time. But just honestly, in reality it's not, it doesn't take that long, and it soon does become part of your day, like it just becomes second nature. I add it as I go along into the day. Some people like to add the food up at the end of the day when they've eaten whatever they've had. Just for me, I know like I'll forget if I've had if I've picked a cereal bar up or some crisps, I'll probably forget to add that. So I do try and add it as I eat it, just so I don't miss anything. Another frequently asked question is that we get in the group on Facebook a lot is, do you eat back any exercise calories? The recommendation is that you don't, just purely because, obviously, like I said before, the fitness trackers, the one that you use on your phone, the ones at the gym, they're so notorious for being so inaccurate. Like, yes, they're great for a guide to keep you focused and sort of, in the right direction, but to then add that into a food tracker to then consume calories back, you wouldn't 100% confidently know that what you was to eat wouldn't be taking you over then your calorie deficit, putting you into either a maintenance calories or into a surplus. That's why we don't recommend eating them back, unless you're really doing a lot of training, a lot of heavy weights, a lot of, I'm talking sort of marathon type running. What I will say is whatever you're burning through activities, it's going to impact your weight loss, obviously for the better. So, just stick with it and have that thought process in your mind. Another frequently asked question is, what can I eat? Or can I eat chocolate? Or can I have wine? Or, whatever it is that you like. And basically, the long and short of it is, you can eat what you want. No foods are off limit. That being said, obviously, you want to feel all right. You don't want to feel sluggish and, heavy and just bloated all the time. What I will say is just be mindful of what you're consuming, that it's a balanced diet. Obviously, you'll see from my post that I eat out a lot. I love to eat out. I don't really have any other hobbies. So my hobby is eating out, eating nice food. But then during the week, I do try and pull it back with loads of volume eating, loads of veg, loads of fruit. Yeah, so it's just about being mindful, but no foods are off limit. Yeah, as long as it fits within your calories, you go for it, whether that's chocolate. If you want to eat chocolate all day, that's fine. You're not going to feel great for it. And no, it's not necessarily healthy, but you would still lose weight if you was in that deficit. So just start and get on this path of a calorie deficit, however that may look to you. In the beginning, to me, it was eating a lot of microwave meals, loads of snacks, obviously still trying to cram in all the nice things that I liked. But over time, you eventually start to add in the veg, the salad, and you start to look at the nutrients in food a lot more. So it's basically trying to sort of walk before you can run. Like, we all want to get to the end point, but we have to start somewhere. So start where you're comfortable starting. Eat what you enjoy eating, because that's what's going to build that foundation and make you want to stick with it. Because actually you can see, oh, I can still eat that sandwich or that bread or that pie. Oh, I didn't think I could have that pie because it's so many sins, or, whatever. You can eat whatever you want. Just be mindful. As long as it fits in your calories, you're good. Kitchen scales, obviously I touched on that in that previous post, but yes, weigh everything. Fruits, veg. I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? Especially for sauces and butters and spreads, definitely weigh it, because you'd be very surprised like how little butter, especially if you're using like proper real butter, low fat, your block butter, very little. I mean, it's beautiful and it's delicious, don't get me wrong. It's about finding alternatives that work for you and your calories. I personally use Clover Light because I like it, I enjoy it. Some people hate it. Don't feel pressure that you have to buy a certain product food-wise because other people use it. Use what you've got in your cupboards. Don't be, going spending money on stuff you don't like or you don't need to. But yes, still weigh everything. I still do it now. And I wouldn't have to necessarily weigh anything. I think just because I've been doing it for so long, I would just be able to do it by eye. But again, a little bit adds on a little bit, and then soon, you've gone over 100 calories of Nutella, without even realising or tracking it. So that over the week, it soon adds up. Also, another frequently asked question is, when should I get weighed? When is the best time to get weighed? I used to weigh every Sunday, only weekly. And I was quite closed-minded about that. I don't really know why, whether that had come from like a previous diet club that I'd gone to, well, a few actually, because I've tried them all, but where you went for a weekly meeting, you got weighed, you stayed for the meeting, you talked it out, what was good, what was, all of that kind of stuff. When actually, we're banking on that one day a week, praying and hoping, because you've been good all week, you've ate any deficit, you've done loads of steps, load of activity, you've drank your water, so you've done everything by the book, so you should have lost weight that week. So you'll step on the scales for Sunday, for instance, and it shows you like you've either stayed the same or you've put a pound on. Mortified, wounded, gutted. Trust me, I've been there so many times. And I was probably still weighing weekly a good year and a bit in. And it wasn't until I started to see a few bits online about weighing, because I follow quite a lot of, these influencers and stuff, and I love them all, by the way. There's, some great people out there to follow. And obviously the advice they was given was to weigh daily, because our bodies fluctuate, especially females more so, going through like menopause, periods, medication, toilet habits. There's so many different factors, honestly. We have to be really logical about how we think about stuff, because when you add emotions into it, it blindsides you and you just become too emotionally attached. Yes, you need the emotional attachment because we're human, but we need to step back sometimes and think, actually, do you know what? I start my period this week, and when it's my time of the month, I'm always bloated and I hold on to a lot of water. So then that's going to make me weigh heavier. Not because you've overate, because you haven't. You've tracked every single thing that you've eaten. So it's not that. So you can rule that out. Medication can have a big impact. It can bloat you. Eating a meal out. So say out of your 21 meals in a week, you've gone for a birthday meal and it was high salt, but your weigh day happened to be the next day. You're going to weigh heavier because your body's retaining the water from the salt. So, there's lots of different factors. So I don't weigh actually anymore, to be honest. But again, we'll discuss that in another video. But yeah, I then moved to daily weigh-in, and honestly, a game changer, because you can just see and you can feel it, and you really get to know your body, and what you eat and how it impacts your body. And just even your mood or the stress. Like, I know for me, stress makes me hold on to water so much. Like, it's a thing. And I know I did a post actually on the group about that, and so many of you was the same. I thought it was just me imagining it, but it's not. It's actually a thing. Yeah, so honestly, I would definitely recommend weighing daily. I know people can get so fixated on the numbers, but yes, you probably may if you're that way inclined, but you need to try and look at it logically that, you know, it could be this, 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 and this. And sometimes there maybe isn't a reason as to why you've stayed the same when you've been good. But you need to have that mindset of you need to keep going and just carry on. There's no point thinking, oh, I'm going to give up, because it achieves nothing. You know, losing weight and changing your lifestyle, it takes time, and you're creating the new habits and this new mindset in the process. Of these years of us telling, you know, ourselves that actually we must eat this, we must do that in order to lose weight. Well, actually, no, we're creating this whole new mindset in our minds. So it takes time, definitely. And all I will say is, again, a lot of questions when I post like pictures of my snack plates at night, because I eat really early with the kids, so like half four some days. So come 8, half 8 when they've gone to bed, I'm hungry again. So I have a snack plate every night, as you'll see if you're on the group. Whether it's crisps, you know, refrigerated cup of tea, a bit of chocolate. Just allow yourself to have those little treats, because especially in the early stages, I used to look forward to that so much. I'd be thinking, oh, I can't wait to have that little bit of chocolate, or, you know, something. I mean, even now I have it throughout the day, because it's just that little bit of, you know, a little bit of an energy boost that you need. It just keeps you going. Just make allowances for it, you know, whether you want to factor out how your calories are set, so 300 for breakfast, 400 for dinner, whatever you're, you know, however you want to do it, just make allowances for it. But the long and short of it is that you can eat anything you fancy, you know, what you want to eat, you can go out to eat. As long as it fits within your calories, eat it and enjoy it. That is my biggest piece of advice, is eat what you enjoy, because this process will be so much more enjoyable.